of people. No, really. Yeah, no, there are a lot of people who want to know when it'll be run. Yeah, the Brandy Rhodes interview. They were like madly jealous about the photo of me with Brandy Rhodes. Yeah. Oh, she is. Yeah. Oh, we're on. Hello, everyone. Bill Apter down here. Visit tonight, Monday night, and we're waiting for some people to come in. Wait a minute, my phone is vibrating again here, and yes, yeah, that's yes, yeah, I know. The picture with Brandy Rhodes has gone viral. I understand that. Yeah, I'll be running the interview probably later this week. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm going to turn my phone off. So, all right. We have a bunch of people in here now. We're going to talk some Monday Night Raw. NOE Lara is here. Jeff Jones, what's up, Silly Willy? It's Chilly Willy, if you will. Sydney Barnsley, hey, Bill. Chill and have an orange Fanta. I don't have any down here. I do have a sparkling ice, by the way. That's my other favorite drink. But orange Fanta and I are dear friends. Sparkling Ice and I are dear friends as well. Good evening, Mr. Bill Apter from David. Hi, David. Welcome into the Monday Night Raw discussion group here. And well, first of all, what did you people think of Monday Night Raw? I thought it was a good episode of Monday Night Raw. I liked it. I'm going to call up my notes. So if you see me looking down a bit, I don't need my notes for the beginning of this. And wait a minute. Okay, I turned the phone off and I keep getting, when are you running the Brandy Rhodes interview? That photo of me and Brandy Rhodes, and while I'm live here, I can't call the photo up and show. Well, maybe I can, wait a minute. I can show it to you on my phone, right? Yeah. Why not? So let me call it up on my gallery here. And a lot of people are talking about this. Raws are always good going into WrestleMania. That is true. That's Warrior G-Man. I like that name. Warrior G-Man. G. Okay. Where is that photo? Yeah, here it is. The photo that has rocked the world, that has gone viral. If you can see this on my phone. I don't know if you can see it on the phone. It's weird because it's a phone and it's not a photograph, but it's a photo of me with Brandy Rhodes that was taken this past Sunday in Allentown, Pennsylvania at a convention. And I did do an interview with her. Streaming Willie Beaming. It's still real to me. Damn it. You know, I hosted that in-ring segment that came from. And it was run on the Jimmy Kimmel show. I got on the Jimmy Kimmel show. Yeah, momentarily, but I was on there. So Steve Kane, quite an interesting finish tonight. So you know what, Steve Kane, my friend, a great podcaster and an excellent referee. Let's start at the end. Kurt Angle decided to take some of the top teams of Monday Night Raw to decide who is going to challenge the Bar for the tag team championships. So here's where I cheat. And well, let me see if I can remember them all. It was Gallows and Anderson, Titus Worldwide, the Bar, Rhino and Slater, and I'm forgetting one team. Let me go to my notes here. Let's go to the notes, unless someone wants to jump in real quick, see if I missed a team. Okay, so let me go down to my notes here. And so it was Rhino and Heath, Titus Worldwide, The Revival, and Anderson and Gallows. So no, I did not forget anyone. But unscheduled unscheduled. And again, if I look down, I'm looking at my notes. Unscheduled, Braun Strowman decided to enter the Battle Royal Tag Team Tournament. And they tried to kill him off. Every team got together and they took the steps and they figured they'd killed him off. But you can't kill off a monster among men, even with ring steps. Braun Strowman won the Tag Team Battle Royal. So Sheamus and Cesaro were standing at the top of the ramp, looking like he was in the Battle Royal. So this may be a handicap match, of the monster among men who is big enough to beat four guys, not beat four guys, to be four guys against Cesaro and Sheamus at WrestleMania for the tag team belts, unless Kurt Angle orders him to pick a partner. Who should he pick if he has to pick a partner? Let me think. Who would? Well, if the Undertaker doesn't accept the challenge put down by John Cena tonight, Strowman and Cena against the Bar, that would be kind of interesting. Okay, I'm going to get to your questions and all your comments very shortly. Want to remind you that this Thursday night, I will be back with my magazine-style video podcast at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Very special guest, since it's the month celebrating women. I have one of the great women of all time in the WWE, was in the Royal Rumble, the women's first Royal Rumble, and really rocked it. Molly Holly, going to be my special guest on Thursday night. So if you have questions, come prepared. Do your homework, come prepared. Otherwise, detention. My buddy Tony, MD Song, speaking of Brandy, was interesting at our Ring of Honor in Vegas when Brandy Rhodes, when Omega was the Bear. Yeah, Braun Strowman versus the Bar would be good. Yes, definitely. But Richard Bain, what did I think of? What do you think of Charlotte Flair versus Asuka? I'm looking forward to that. So let's go back to, that's going to be a really good competitive match. And I don't like what Mickie James and that little Alexa Bliss did to Nia Jax tonight. There was not, big people are sensitive. They have feelings. And it finally came out tonight that they were using Nia Jax all the time. John Cena made that open challenge tonight to The Undertaker. Cena led us on to believe that he was just going to buy a ticket and sit with the fans, and someone there was going to have a seat against John Cena, and we would all be able to see him. But he wants The Undertaker, and he told The Undertaker, he looked right in the camera, and he called The Undertaker pretty much a coward, saying that he's got a real ego, and because he lost, boo-hoo-hoo, he's out of sight and all that, and nobody's seen him, but people have seen him working out in the videos with his wife at the gym. So Cena really out of character tonight, and the fans who are behind him, they want to see this match. They really want to see this match. It's the most talked about match, not yet at WrestleMania. Before I, of course, go on here, I always have to plug my book, Is Wrestling Fixed? I Didn't Know It Was Broken. On sale at your favorite bookstore or Amazon, and the audio version through Audible. And earlier this evening, it was mentioned on Raw that this year, WrestleMania will be the very first Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal. That's great. That's great. The ladies now get a Battle Royal. It's going to be terrific. I posted on my Facebook page and at my Twitter page and on OneWrestling.com a 4.5-minute segment of an interview I did with Fabulous Moolah in 1978. Bill that old. I'm a little older than 1978, but we don't have to talk about age. So that's going to be very good that the women take another step forward, and the invitational. Well, I don't know if it's invitational, but it'll be a battle royal to determine who the very first Fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal winner will be. And I am picking, and I don't even know if she's going to be in it, but I am picking Nia Jax to walk out with that trophy. I really am. I still would like to see romance budding between Nia Jax and Braun Strowman. Wouldn't you? Yeah, she's the monster among women, but I mean that in a good way. Um, yes, Moolah was on some game shows years ago, and yeah, I know Nia Jax will face Alexa at WrestleMania. Probably that's almost a given, but I would like to see her win the Battle Royal. David says, I've seen Kenny Omega when he disguised himself as a bear. Brandy Rhodes and I discussed that on the interview that'll be run later this week. Just what Kenny Omega and Cody do have in store for Ring of Honor, don't know yet, but I'm excited to find out. I'm hoping to be at the Ring of Honor show on WrestleMania weekend. I will be at WrestleCon signing copies of my books and just saying hello. You don't have to buy anything, just awesome wrestling entertainment table. Let's go back to Raw. The beginning of Raw, Kurt Angle announced that Brock Lesnar was not there again, and Roman Reigns again took exception to it and came out and said that, if you or I didn't show up on Monday Night Raw for our jobs, we'd be fired. If someone else didn't show up for their regular job at Raw, they would be fired. Why isn't he fired? So Reigns said, because he's Vince McMahon's boy. And Reigns was very disgusted, saying that no one told him that Brock Lesnar wasn't going to be here, and he had just passed Vince McMahon in the hallway, and Vince didn't even have the courtesy to tell him about that. So he went in the back into the control room where Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon had headsets on. They were watching the show along with some technicians, and Vince convinced Roman Reigns to let's talk this out in his office. He told them to go to a commercial, which they did. Came back, we saw Renee Young outside Mr. McMahon's office. Roman Reigns came out. She asked him for a comment. He didn't even acknowledge her. Mr. McMahon came out, and he said he pretty much told Roman Reigns what his cousin, The Rock, would say: know your role and shut your mouth. And he also mentioned that he has temporarily suspended Roman Reigns, which means he'll be back for WrestleMania, of course. Well, I think he will be. That's the big main event there. Well, is that the main event, or is the main event Kurt Angle and Double R, Ronda Rousey, Rowdy, Ronda Rousey, Triple R, against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon? Which one's the main event? Co-main events, we'll call it that way. Let me go back to my notes here and see if... Anyway, I thought that Raw was a pretty good show tonight. And like one of our guests here in our chat room said, that Raw always going into WrestleMania is good. Oh, Rollins versus Finn Balor, however you want to pronounce it. That match came out of a Miz TV segment, and it was a really good wrestling match. And the finish of that match, the end of it, was extremely interesting, because Rollins got Finn, I can pronounce that, Finn up on the top rope, the highest point of the turnbuckles, and superplexed him down and was going to pin him, and Finn just rolled him over in a small cradle, and 1, 2, 3, and he won. I think Rollins was pretty dejected, but you know what? It was a damn good match. It really won. It really was. You know what I liked? I liked when John Cena went out into the crowd and was schmoozing with everyone, took a sip of a beer from a fan. That was pretty cool. Okay, so that's for a Raw score. with 10 being the best, I would give this Raw a 7. I thought it was really good. All right, let me get to some of your questions now. Homer Shiz 2, do you think the Johnny Bravo story about Roman Reigns will affect WrestleMania, about the possibility of the illegal stuff and all that? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't really cover that kind of stuff. I like to stay within the wrestling genre. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, Steve Kane says Cena was on the top of his game on the mic tonight. He definitely was. He was exceptional. Alan Bennett, Nick Aldis is having successful NWA World Title Defense crusade so far. He has not encountered Josephus yet. Yes, that's true. Oh, by the way, just let's go back and rewind. The Ultimate Deletion, Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. That's going to be pretty exciting. That's next week, I believe. Hey, Dougie Fresh Richards. Let me see some more questions here regarding Monday Night Raw. Richard Bain, Alexa Bliss will rue the day she PO'd Nia Jax off. I agree. That's a dangerous lady. You don't want to get her angry at you. Joseph Morin, Morin. Did you like Roman's promo on Brock Lesnar? Yeah. I thought I liked it last week, and I liked it this week too. I thought it was very cool with him citing that if any of us did this and didn't show up for work, especially at a $1 zillion company like that with a TV show, and Paul Heyman wasn't there either. Maybe they were sitting at home watching some MMA. Omar Aguilar Guzman, hello, sir. Mr. Apter, you are the best voice of common sense in wrestling today. Thank you. I try to be. I really do, because there's a lot of people who aren't the voice of common sense. I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. And thank you for using your common sense and saying that. Uncle Icy Man, Becky Lynch or Natty will win the Moolah Invitational. Becky Lynch or Natty. Bailey. MD Song, I heard Moolah was on some game shows. I didn't answer that. Steve Kane said the Alexa Mickey routine was Paul Ellering in circa 1984 again. Yeah. I remember that. Let's see here. Warrior G-Man, maybe Kane will be Braun's partner. Interesting. I think it's going to be Braun Strowman winning the tag team title. To me, that's a great story. It really is. Unless Kurt Angle comes in and changes it. Let's see. We're trying to stay on Monday Night Raw stuff tonight. And tomorrow night I may be back for a SmackDown chat as well. I don't know until it's over. Warrior G-Man, I hope they bring in Lars as Braun's partner for WrestleMania. That would be interesting. Let's go way back. Jeff Jones, Undertaker versus Cena is happening. I certainly hope so. Yeah, so I've got time for a few more questions, but again, Monday Night Raw tonight I thought was very good. I really did. A 7 out of 10. I'm hoping to be back for SmackDown tomorrow night, and I will be at WrestleMania weekend. Can't spill all the beans right now, but that Thursday night, I get into town on Thursday of WrestleMania weekend. That Thursday night, I might have a big announcement of something that I'm doing right now. The contracts are not signed, but it's going to be something that I want to do for the fans out there. I know there's tons of stuff going on for WrestleMania weekend. And again, you can see me at WrestleCon at the Awesome Wrestling Entertainment table. And yeah, Alan Bennett, you're very welcome for the Raw commentary. And is your book in bookstores? Oh yeah, Barnes and Noble has my book. Books A Million has my book. Yeah, you can probably find it at most bookstores. And if not, go to Amazon and get it. And if you'd like it autographed, I have a way to get it autographed for you. Just email me at bapter@onewrestling.com. That's the number one, not the word. bapter@onewrestling.com. And that's after you get the book. And I will send you a sticker autographed to you personally that you can adhere to the front of the book. Danny, welcome, Danny. Did anyone ask you if Braun versus Cena is happening? They did not. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Cena versus the Undertaker is going to happen because he called the Undertaker out tonight. And the Undertaker is a man's man. He doesn't back down from anyone. So we're going to see that match as far as I'm concerned. Dougie Fresh Richards, great book, Bill. I've read it twice. Thank you. So you'll pass the quiz. This Wrestling Fix, I didn't know it was broken. And the audio book is on sale at Audible or Amazon.com. And the charm I'm told about the audio book is when I'm talking about a wrestler that I can do a voice imitation of, I do it. For example, there's some stuff with Bruno Sammartino, Dusty Rhodes, Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan. And, if it's someone like Bruno, doggone it, I do his voice. And Richard Bain, do you think Tessa Blanchard or Rachel Ellering will ever go to WWE? I'd like to see both of them in WWE. I'm surprised that I know Tessa Blanchard has been in some skits in WWE. I'm surprised she is not in WWE. She's such a great competitor and one of my favorite people in the whole world. Omar is asking, Mr. Apter, what are your thoughts on NXT TakeOver New Orleans? I interviewed the general manager, William Regal, yesterday at a convention in Allentown, PA, and we talked about the whole card. So that'll be probably later this week. So it's a great card. It's a great card. Cien Almas against, what's his name? Aleister Black. I think it's going to be incredible. Great feud. Danny says, I sure hope Lesnar shows up next week. Mr. McMahon said that he will be there next week, Danny. So hopefully he shows up. If not, is Vince going to give him the "you're fired"? You never know. MD Song, will Vince and the family cave in and finally induct you into the Hall of Fame? You know what? People keep mentioning this, and they don't have a media category. I wouldn't fit in any of the current categories they have. So if they come out with a media category, then probably. So, yeah, I'd love to be in there. Of course. What do you think I'd say no? Hold on a minute. My phone's ringing. Who? Triple H, yes. You want to induct me in what? What, WrestleMania weekend? I'm tied up. Yeah, I'm busy. All right. But thank you anyway. Try me again next year. No, that'll never happen. So, hold on. There we go again. Yes, Vince, I just turned your son-in-law down. I'm busy that weekend. Thank you. Unbelievable. You suggested on here, and look what happens. British Bulldogs for the Hall of Fame, and Bill Apter for the Hall of Fame. British Bulldogs should be in the Hall of Fame. Excellent choice. Dougie Fresh Richards, can I call Hulk Hogan? What do you want me to call him? He's bigger than me. No, I can't call him right now. I would give him notice if I was calling him. I don't know where he is right now. Richard Bain says, is your book in large print, Bill? It is not. But I know that they make adaptive devices for something like that, or even a magnifying glass, or get the audio book, Richard, if you'd like to. So I think it's a fun read, the book. And the audio, even if you have the book, the audio is worth getting, everybody has told me. Okay, we're going to finish off with just a few more questions. And let's see if I have a piece of nostalgia here, pardon my back, that I can show you. Yeah, I don't think I've ever shown this piece of nostalgia that I have here. This is the the WWF game, the action set. I'm not going to open it. I will open it on Thursday on my video podcast. But I still have this, and it's in perfect condition, and it's not for sale, unless you have a great offer, of course. All right, so that's it for the Raw wrap-up. Let's see if there is one or two more questions before. I like to spend about a half hour, and we're close to that. Richard Bain says he can't wait for me to talk to the Blue Meanie again. Well, that's great. I will have him on the show, by the way. He and I have talked about being on the video podcast. Joseph Morin says, should Raw move to a 2-hour show instead of 3? I have always contended that I think a 2-hour show would be a tighter, more condensed show, of course. But USA Network has them in for a 3-hour slot. There's a lot of, we're talking common sense now, there's a lot of other things that go into whether a show is 2 hours, 3 hours, or 1 hour. We're talking about sponsors, you're talking about network time. It's so involved. But I'd like to see it as 2 hours, although if it's a show like tonight, 3 hours is really good. Oh, MD Song, you used to have that game too. That's great. Tony just got a copy of my book. Tony is MD Song. A copy of my audio book. So enjoy it, Tony, and give us an update each week, how you're enjoying or not enjoying it. So let's see if there's one more question here before we go. Someone who hasn't asked a question yet. Okay, so my prediction for WrestleMania in the main event, Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle, of course, will emerge victorious. And if the suspension is up by then and Roman Reigns shows up, which he will, and Brock Lesnar shows up, questionable, Roman Reigns, I know nobody wants to hear this, Roman Reigns gets the belt. Cena versus Undertaker, it's got to be redemption for the Undertaker. He's got to win it. He really does. So that's a quickie prediction for WrestleMania. And I'm thrilled that they are honoring Moolah with the Moolah Battle Royal. Joseph Morin says The Rock will help Ron and Kurt win. That's right. He's going to. Not The Rock you're talking about, Kid Rock. It was announced tonight that he's going into the celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame. He deserves it. I remember when I met him once when I was working for Wow magazine. He was in the audience just hanging out. And I remember Elliot Fromm, who was the artist who put the magazine together, came over to me and he said, Kid Rock is in like the 9th row. You got to go get a picture of him. And I said, who? I didn't follow that kind of music. I didn't know who he was, but he's really been a great goodwill ambassador for the WWE. So I am definitely thrilled to see him going into the WWE Hall of Fame. Danny, you want my prediction on Styles versus Nakamura? AJ Styles retains the title in a tough match. Very, very tough match, but AJ Styles. And it will be phenomenal. MD Song, last question here. Do you have the PWI book I talked about? It was a guide you guys did. Hang on a minute. If it's the PWI almanacs, I still have some of those here, but they're down here in Apters Alley, Tony. John Bryant, you're late, John. Who's on roids, Roman or Luther or both? I don't answer. I don't talk about those kind of things. I talk about pro wrestling, sports entertainment, like it's any other sport, and I really don't delve into that end of it. So my apologies if you don't like that, but that's who I am. It is. All right, this is Bill Apter. You can follow me at One Wrestling. You can follow me at Apter One Wrestling. Not One Wrestling, it's One Wrestling at onewrestling.com. You can follow me at Apter One Wrestling. That's my personal Twitter handle. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram too at B line, lower line, Apter. And that's where you can see that great picture of me with Brandy Rhodes that you're all so jealous about. There we go. I mentioned her name. And hello. Yes, the interview with Brandy Rhodes will be later this week, probably. Thank you. Whew. Get texts about everybody's so jealous that I was with Brandy Rhodes. And by the way, as we used to say in New York, as gorgeous as she is, her personality is just as sweet. She really is. So I used to buy all the Apter mags and those digests. Thank you very much. And, PWI is still out there. It's not out there as much as it used to be. Sue Sachs is still the editor. So, yeah, please keep supporting him. Jared Wallace. Bill, are you all in? Not sure yet. I'm waiting for a call to be all in. I'd like to be all in September 1st in Chicago. Yeah, I very excited. If I'm not at all in, wherever it's being broadcast, I will be all in watching it. That's for sure. Yeah, it's great that Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks are putting this thing together, and I hope it does great. Okay, that's it. We're at 32 minutes, 18 seconds. I promised my wonderful doggy, Lexi Rose, I'd be up in 30 minutes from after Sally. So good night to you, everybody. And I may be back after SmackDown tomorrow night. I never know when I'm going to do these things. I like just to pop in here at Apters Alley and just say, you know what? Let me talk to my people. For me, for Bill Apter, onewrestling.com, onewrestlingvideo.com. Subscribe to onewrestlingvideo.com, please. It's absolutely free. And we have so much great stuff on there. Big Ray Hernandez brings so much great video content to us. He's our senior video producer. And thank you, Big Ray. That's it, Bill Apter. I'll see you at the matches. I got to hit the end stream button here. So got to freeze like this for the last shot. And now you have to hit the end button. So I'm still pointing. See you at the matches, everybody.